This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning, Indianapolis, and welcome to Religion in the News. I'm J.R. Ryder. Joining me today is Jeffrey Payne and Nick Elizondo. Our guests talk about a mother's perspective. Women of Praise Quartet sings a special selection, and teen interns bring you a sacred dance. All that's next. Stay tuned.
Good morning and welcome once again. Joining me today are the ladies of the Women of Praise. We have with us Linda Elliott, Judy, check that, Brooke Billingsley, Judy McLean, and Amy Koss. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today. And you all look so nice, and I heard you sing even better. And I'm going to step away for just a moment, and we want to have you all give us a little sample of what you all do. So,
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Women of Praise.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Brooke, you've been designated as the spokesperson for today. Tell us, how did Women of Praise come together?
Well, we belong to a large church, and our music director, Shackley Flick, is the choir director at East 91st, and he said, I'd like to get some of the women together, and he kind of asked me if I could coordinate a group, and Judy and I have sung together for 10 years, and then Linda and Amy joined us at various points, and so for the last 7 years, the four of us have been singing and
Wow,
praising.
7 years. Now, how often do you all perform?
About 6 to 8 times a year.
That's
And
awesome.
then sometimes special events that we're asked to sing at.
Holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, not always alone. Sometimes we sing with the choir, and
Orchestra.
sometimes with the orchestra. We do things with the orchestra, and so we get a lot of experience. Different chances to do things.
That is outstanding. Now, we do have some really nice photos of these ladies in their element, and there's one of the four of you there, one of your very nice photo, by the way. And we also have another of you all together, and we'll be flashing those throughout the interview. Oh, very nice. Now, where did that take place?
Right outside East 91st. Or actually, we have a pathway that you can walk for a pray pathway.
Linda's daughter is a photographer.
Linda's daughter's a
Yeah, my
photographer.
daughter took those pictures. Yeah.
Now, speaking of their various talents and so forth, you're singers, of course, but when you're not singing, what types of things do you do? We'll start with you, Linda.
Okay. My job is I'm a school nurse at Harrison Hill Elementary, and I've been there for about a year and a half, and I also work in labor and delivery at Methodist Hospital, actually postpartum. And I like to garden in my spare time, and I sing in the choir at church, and so that keeps me busy.
Great. How about you, Brooke? What do you do?
I co-own a business with my husband doing healthcare market research, and I'm also an international speaker. So I travel a lot to speak on customer service and do a lot of training.
Outstanding. And Judy?
Well, I was a stay-at-home mom for years, and then now my daughter's 16 now. So I've been substitute teaching, and I just last year went back to school to go ahead and get my teacher's certificate. So I've been busy doing that. And my husband's in the military, so that keeps us busy going on different events. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Amy?
I'm a CPA, and I have a small business practice, and I work from home to try to coordinate that with my family life. And I love to ride a bike, and I ride that as much as possible. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of family, you know, we're all very active and involved with our families. What's been the biggest challenge for you in the group in terms of managing the time? Can you give us a little bit of that, Brooke?
Well, I think this past year's been really tough. Judy lost her mom to cancer, and Amy had a grandbaby that had some physical issues that had required surgery. Linda's getting ready to have hip surgery. I mean, we've all been through a plethora of things that have happened over the year. And so God's been real faithful and really showed us grace, and so that we could still get together. Sometimes we were really stressed out when we got together, so we would just spend time praying, which was a support to each other. And so that was kind of more a part of the relationship building than even the singing. So we go through, I don't want everybody to think we're all polished and looking like we don't have stress. We've all had a lot of stress, and God's been really faithful. So if someone's listening who's under a lot of stress or going through something tough, we just want them to know that God is gracious and He's very faithful, and He is there for them too. So
that is
that
outstanding.
would be our prayer for whoever's listening.
Well, I'm sure that our viewers are going to be inspired by your story, and we have information here, Women of Praise, and if you want to get information about them, you can contact Shockley Flick, who's the worship pastor at the East 91st Street Christian Church, located at 6049 91st Street in Indianapolis, Indiana, 46250. And a contact phone number there is area code 317-869-1261. And of course, the website, of course, and the email address is there for your convenience. Ladies, thank you all so much for your time.
Thank
We wish
you
you
for
nothing but
having
the
us.
best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And back to you.
Coming up next, my guest gives us a mother's perspective when we return. Welcome back to Religion in the News. My guest today is Susan. Susan, thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Besides being a mother, what other roles and hats do you wear?
Well, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, I'm a niece. I am the secretary of my church. I belong to Lions Club. I have a lot of different activities. I have 2 part-time jobs. I'm a hairdresser, have been for 40 years. I work in a small coffee shop as a barista, do a lot of baking, I do a lot of sewing, love to garden, so I have a lot of interests.
So basically what you're saying is at night you sleep very well after a busy day.
Yes, I do. When the sun goes down, so do I.
Absolutely. In regards to being a mother, what has been the biggest challenge for you?
Setting the boundaries and, mothering or parenting within God's grace and with love.
As you said, setting the boundaries and setting standards, do you ever regret saying no to your children after you have said it?
No, I don't think so, because I think you have to pick and choose your battles, and you try at all times to be the best parent that you can be. And the hardest thing for a parent is to say no. It's easy to say yes, but it's harder to say no.
Have you, how many children do you have, first of all?
Well, my husband and I have 5. I have 2 daughters, and he has 3 sons. So we have a combined family. We have 2 20-year-olds up to a 31-year-old.
Oh, wow, okay.
I forgot to mention, too, that I'm a grandma, too.
Oh, okay. So how many grandkids do you have?
We have 3 grandchildren. I have, Sophia is 6. And I have twin grandsons that are 3.
Oh, twins. So they're definitely a handful, I can assume. Absolutely. And with that big family, Thanksgiving and Christmas is definitely not one that's where you're alone.
No.
How do you, for those who are going to become mothers, perhaps they are with child or they want to have children in the future, or they've just had a child recently, what advice can you give them?
Just to always, think before the words come out of your mouth. Always, have the love in your heart. Look to Jesus. remember your children in your prayers every day. Just try to be the very best that you can be, and in your mind, just think about it before it comes out of your mouth.
And with that, who or what is your support group as you're a mother?
Well, my husband definitely, Frank is definitely a big support, but you know, you have a whole realm. You know, I have an aunt, I have sisters, I have friends that you talk to see, you know, okay, just, you know, mull a scenario over with them to make sure that you're on the right track and you're thinking in the right way.
I'll ask you what your favorite thing is about being a mother and then a grandmother. So first of all, what is your favorite thing about being a mother?
Just having that unconditional love from your children, and the same with your grandchildren. Just, you know, having my grandsons come up and call me Nana, and you know, my daughter's bringing me birthday presents and Mother's Day presents, and thanking me for being a role model for them and helping them and always being there. I had a really nice Mother's Day. I got really nice cards and gifts, you know, not monetary gifts, but gifts from the heart from my children.
Well, that's awesome. So also with being a mother, do you ever find it to be where you can't do it anymore, or obviously, you know, you're a mother every day, but there's times where you want to, maybe it's harder to wake up, or it's harder to, you know, be that role model, and you know, you want to be your own person, but at the same time you have to be a role model and set the example. Do you ever find that challenge?
I think all women have that, especially new mothers. They'll wake up one morning and after they've had this, you know, bundle of joy that God has brought to them, and think, okay, who am I today? Am I the wife? Am I the mom? You know, if it's a mother or a parent that's going back to work, you know, am I a hairdresser today? And it is hard, and you have to always take time for yourself, and you know, turn to God. God answers all your prayers. You know, He's going to provide for you your needs, maybe not your wants, but your needs, and always turn to Him for that faith and for that uplifting and that security.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. One thing I do want to share with our viewers actually is that Susan actually is my stepmother. I'm one of her stepsons. And with that, however, though, as my dad has taught me, the only steps that we have in our house is the ones that actually lead us into the home. So Susan definitely is my mother. She's not my stepmother, she's my mother. So I thank you very much. I love you, Mom. And this is a Mother's Day gift to her, actually.
Thank you, Nick.
God bless you and happy Mother's Day, and I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you, and we'll return.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Mom. Coming up next, my guests are teen interns who are part of an outreach to the public schools. They have a special dance just for you when we return.